Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 568. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Hey.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo,
guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers, to 568 of the Moviecast. I'm back. It's been a hell week. Network still, it's in progress, as well as say. Functioning, but in progress. It was a headache last week. Sorry, everybody. Bit off more than I can chew, and I didn't realize it. And when you have a typo in your IP address, which was discovered later on in the week, that also hurts too. So, yeah. Anyways, so guys, it's been a heck of a week. I haven't gotten to watch Dune yet. Corey, did you get to watch Dune?
I got to see it actually in a Dolby theater, which I highly recommend Dolby. So I will talk about that shortly.
Oh, cool. All right. Every time I sat down
on in the background, just give me one second.
That's fine. No big deal. Every time I sat down to watch that on HBO Max, I got interrupted, so it didn't happen, unfortunately. I did watch Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is very funny and good fun Halloween movie. But I did watch What We Do in the Shadows, which is a show I've talked about on here many times with the vampires. It's a comedy, a very dark comedy. And man, I really did love this season. I don't know if the season was as good as season 2, but it was a really good season. So I really enjoyed it. I don't think the finale, that wasn't the finale yet, but it was the penultimate episode that just happened. And it was a really good show. I would really recommend that show. I'm actually interested to hear Tony, because you've been watching some stuff, and I'm actually interested to hear, you watched Mythic Quest, right?
yeah. So finished season 1 and the special, the COVID episodes. One or two, couple episodes into season 2. It's a good show, really good show. Yeah. I like it, but fuck you guys for not giving me a warning for episode, I don't know, 6 or something.
Which was 6?
Where it's
what happened in that one?
It's about completely different characters.
Oh, it's
the Josh Johnson episode.
Yes.
I was just like, I was so confused because I was like, this. I'm watching. Well,
the experience you get is the same experience I got. So just saying.
Yeah. Well, you should warn me, man. I was like, expecting laughs and stuff, and I'm watching with a friend, and we're both like getting really sad. I was like, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to be sad. It's loud.
No, yeah, I forgot all about that episode. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, so because season 2 happens and you move on to some other stuff. There's always going to be that mix of comedy and then this drama mixed into that. Season 2's got some stuff mixed into. It's pretty fun like that. I don't know why they keep you on your toes. So
right.
But it's a very good I feel like it's a good gateway Apple TV Plus show. It's a good starter show for them,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And then other than that, I watched season 3 of You.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it yet.
Came out Friday. I've been watching it since then, and I finished it up today. And this is definitely... Yeah, this is what I was referring to before.
Okay.
This is definitely... I mean, it was still enjoyable at parts, but it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, you can't keep stretching this out anymore. It's getting from the realm of okay, this is plausible. I can see this happening.
It's getting Dexter.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, you keep killing people and you keep getting away with it, and you're not that smart. You're smart, but you're not that smart. So it's just like, oh god. And then the main character just keeps regressing every time you think he has some epiphany or revelation. Character development, something else happens, and just dude, I can't root for you anymore. I actually want you to just get caught and just fuck off. I don't even care about you anymore. Which is unfortunate because he's a great actor. The other central characters are great. Some of the side characters are really good this season too. Ones that I wasn't even expecting to but by the end of the season I like. It's just one of those things where it's I don't know. First season was, good. Again, I could say that it, was one of the things I could see this happening. Season 2, I was like, okay, here we go. It's the
I enjoyed the
aftermath
little
of
twist.
season 1.
Yeah, I enjoyed the little twist after that. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
the
the
fallout. The fallout.
Right.
The fallout. Yeah.
Right, and this is just like, shenanigans happens again. This is like,
It is like, how many seasons of Dexter can you take on this,
Right.
like this, a killer, a murderer, and you're like, okay, it's cool to watch how's he gonna get out of this thing, but you're like, at some point you're like, he's got to stop getting out of this. It doesn't make sense.
yeah,
It's a tough, it's like a thin line to balance on when you're talking about someone who's doing things that are not necessarily kosher, and then you want to try to root for that character also. But how do you make that character relatable and someone that you can root for in the end after a while? Because if you just keep pounding in that this is not a good person, what redeeming qualities are going to overcome that?
And that's absolutely true. Yeah,
that's exactly it. And I believe I did read that the guy who plays the main character has even gone to record say he doesn't want to wear it like the formula thin. So I don't know how much more we'll get of this, but I'm happy we got a season 3 still, even though I'm like done with it. Still gave some good laughs and some interesting like gasp moments and stuff like that. But yeah, those are the 2 things I've been watching.
Okay, cool. Corey, you wanna? Are you good to go now?
Yeah, sure. So I watched Dune, obviously, we talked about, and I didn't want to watch it on HBO first because this is one of those movies that I was waiting for forever and wanted to get the full theater experience. So I did go to the Dolby Theater that we have close by us and watched it there, which I have to say, it was like one of the best theater experiences you could have. This movie was really made to be watched in a theater at least once, I'd say. It's a spectacle. It's one of those like big, overblown type of movies where the scenes, the environments, the ships, spaceships, just everything is just like super huge.
It's got
and
that.
So, you want that. The music, like every time
Yeah.
ships were landing, it just like in your seat, because it feels like the seats have like subwoofers in them essentially, and so the sheets are shaking when ships come down.
Blade Runner, like it's got like a Blade Runner 2049 cinematography look. I feel like that's what I got from this when I was watching the beginning. I only saw the beginning part of it.
It's the same team essentially. So
oh, is it okay? That's it. Oh, that's okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, now I feel good. Hey, look, I didn't even know that, and they did their job.
Yeah. So yeah, with this movie, I really wanted that experience, which I highly recommend. That is fantastic. Cool. As far as the movie goes, I also thought it was fantastic. So it's really good. I think that they did a great job of translating and adapting the book into a movie that had a good pace to it, because this is part 1 of the first book, and there is and it says that right in the beginning of the movie. It says Dune Part 1 right underneath it, and so they, at the time you're watching it, or I watched it, there was no official part 2, but so like you're like hoping that we get it, and so where it ended is its logical spot for it. So yeah, it's really good. So they basically cover the first maybe a little more half maybe of the book, I think, and the thing is they do a lot more showing what's going on than telling you what's going on, which is interesting, because a lot of times you just get a lot of like heavy narrative in this, and it's like all this narrative, but here they just do a lot of showing and try to use symbolism to help give you ideas and make you assume certain things. And so like there's most of the houses are here, and they don't brush on the backstories of a lot of them. They just make you kind of give you an idea of what's going on, and then let you kind of imagine what's going to happen. The first part of the movie is very much world building, getting you set up. There's a lot of dream-esque sequences with Paul Atreides, who has these visions that may or may not come true. So we have to wait and see. And and then there's like a little bit more action towards the back end of it. I felt that the characters were all very well represented. I think that for me, the one to pick, and I mentioned on Discord, is the main actor, Timothy Chalamet, or whatever his name is. His delivery is just very much a mumbly Nick Cage style delivery. And soon as he did it the first time, I just thought Nick Cage the whole time, and it made me take him out, took me out of his character a little bit. But every single person, even I did not mind Jason Momoa in here as much. I thought he was fine for the character he played. But yeah, I thought everyone else was really great, but just Rebecca Ferguson, who plays Lady Jessica in this, I thought she was just the best part of the movie. She was outstanding.
Cool.
And yeah, I highly recommend it. It's really good space sci-fi epic
That's
movie,
awesome.
and can't wait for part 2 that we officially got word.
Yeah, much better than your last movie result that I was anticipating. Couldn't wait to hear from Venom, but it's been it's good to hear.
Yeah,
so
Venom,
I've been
Let There Be Carnage was terrible. So.
I think I've
this one's good, and if you have to watch on HBO, I'd say go for it because it's still great. It's just not the experience I'd want the first time you see it, but at the same time, everybody has their own,
Well, I think
it's not like a super action-y thing. That's the thing. It's like it's not a Star Wars fun action movie. It's
Dune
way
was
more
never like that. Yeah,
political.
The original.
No, I know. I'm
was
not. I'm just saying there are people
Dune?
out there that don't know Dune.
Yeah.
Well, that's the movies was back then, but the book came out in the 60s.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying. I'm talking about the movie that I saw back in '84. I don't think I've read all the books. I think I read the first book, but
I mean, the first book is all you need, and maybe the prelude, but everything else after that is pretty much garbage.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of characters that kind of weird. But yeah, so I would say definitely, and visually, it's the most striking film I've seen this year. Visually,
cool.
It's just gorgeous to look at.
Convince me to at least not watch it on a computer monitor and instead wait to watch it at home, at least, if anything, on my OLED.
At least watch it comfortable on a couch. And you got this gorgeous TV.
I think you should watch it on your phone, Jim.
Watch it on my watch. Put it on my watch.
Do you have an iPod? You have one of those iPod
I have my
touches?
my 27-inch. I have a 27-inch iMac at work that I didn't. I did start. I didn't start the movie there. I actually hit the play button and I got pulled away from everything. And then here I started it on my 65 OLED, and I'm like, again, I got pulled away. So I'll watch it here though. So that's good. I'll watch it tomorrow.
But yeah, it's much more political than fun action. Just keep that in mind. The other thing I wanted to mention that I watched was the Injustice movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is based off the video game. And it's not the video game or the comic at all. They
How do you miss this? You have source material. How do you miss it?
Yeah, they try to fit it into an hour and 20 minutes. I don't even think it's an hour and a half.
The whole story?
Not the whole story, but they because they can't do the whole story, so they just basically start it and then end it.
It looked to me from the clips I saw that it's basically the first game's story.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's fine with me, but you should divide that up.
They just cut out a lot, though.
Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't be the whole first game story.
They have to. I would recommend just someone probably did it on YouTube. Just cut out the cutscenes from the first game and watch that instead. Because it's probably better.
I'm sure they have. So, okay. All right, Mike.
Better voice actors. I watched a few things. So I saw the finale of Titans, which was okay. It was not anything as extravagant as I was hoping. My prediction was wrong. It didn't go that far. But they're doing some weird things as far as where certain characters are going to be trained and such going forward. But it was all right. It was a pretty by the numbers kind of bookend of the season where overcome what was the big problem finally. Change scenes, change settings at the end. So it was all right, but it could have done, I think, something a little more interesting. But that was fine. Then I also watched The Closer from Dave Chappelle because I'm worried it won't be on much longer.
So you watched it?
Yeah, and I liked it mostly. I think it's important if you do watch it to go to the end and the very end because his message at the end sort of it's different than what you would think based on what you hear about it. I think it's important, and I would say the ending makes me, at least convinces me, maybe it won't convince you, that it is not a hateful piece of media. I think it's quite the opposite, but that's just me. You can get your own opinion if you watch it. And then the other thing I watched, which is just 15 minutes, and it's 3 years old now, but because of something else we'll talk about, I decided to watch the Nathan Fillion fan film when he is Nathan Drake for the Uncharted 15-minute fan film. I finally got around to watching, and it was fine. It makes me sad now more than anything else, all things considered. But I liked it. I liked it that someone put it together at some point.
Yeah.
It's pretty good production values for something that was a fan film too. Fun.
There's been some pretty awesome, like, I still remember that Batman Joker fan film on YouTube for years, and that was well done too. But yeah, speaking of Uncharted, then we'll tie that in real quick because we'll get back to it later. We'll get to the box office shortly, but we saw the trailer for that, and as you watched that, could anybody not? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was Peter Parker, not Nathan Drake.
He was just
it's easy it's easy to pinhole him into that because that's all you really seen him.
Yeah, but you can see actors that don't make you think of their other roles. Like, you see that a lot. Like, they can outlast that role. They can outdo it. Like, they just make you forget about it.
It would help.
There are people that do
but
that.
It takes time. It takes time, though.
Well, it also takes. It would help.
How long would it take you to not look at Hugh Jackman as Wolverine?
He's been in so many things. I'm fine with it.
That's what I'm saying.
How
long has it been? It's been like 17 years. So yeah, this is like year 4, year 5.
I think he's just. I don't know if he fits well. I don't like the look of him. I know he's supposed to be younger. Don't like any of that. So, and Marky Mark, I don't know. I didn't like any of his trailer.
I can understand all of that. Yeah. I don't think the trailer particularly looked great. I don't mind the actors that they picked for it, but we'll see. The one thing I can't get out of my head is like that lady, that Chloe, who says like Sully doesn't have friends. I should know I'm one of them. I really feel like she should have said, I know I'm not one of them, or something. Just like, why would you say he doesn't have friends? I'm one of them.
It's funnier that way.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It's funny. I didn't mind that.
I'm just hung up on that one line, and it just.
I think it's kind of fun. I think it's a funny line. I think that might have been the best part of the trailer.
No, I mean the line's fine if she said it in a different way. That's all. That's all I wanted.
No, I think the casting is all fine except for him. Honestly, if you're gonna go younger, you might as well get someone who's like 48, 50, however old Mark Wahlberg is for Sully. But I liked the casting of whoever that was as Chloe. I just didn't like him. Like, he's just, I don't know, like, he looks the same as he did when he was like bursting on the scene at like 17 to me, and it's too much. I don't know, he just doesn't have that sort of, I don't know, it doesn't
persona?
seem like it's the right type of charisma. Yeah. And I also think it's silly that this is sort of like a prequel-ish idea, but they're still throwing in all these references to stuff that we saw in like Uncharted 3 and all the later things.
It's
like
basically the storyline from 4, it seems.
How could it be?
Yeah, the plane sequence from 3. Yeah.
The plane sequence was from 3. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm not. He just looks wrong for me. I'm sorry. I can't.
Yeah. All right. Tony, did you watch it or no?
Well, I mean, sometimes people
I
pull you out.
No.
It's like
Uncharted anything.
It's like Ben Affleck. You know, you look at Ben Affleck, you see Ben Affleck now, right? It's hard to picture him as a character sometimes.
Yeah, you break out of it.
You can see him playing certain characters though, but you know it's Ben Affleck.
Right. No, I'm just saying, like, some actors become too big because you recognize them for who they are. That's all. And like right now, I think that a lot of people's problem with Tom Holland is they just know him as Spider-Man, so it's like easy to just associate the actor with the one, role he played. But as time goes on, maybe he'll break out of it.
We'll see.
Maybe, but it doesn't look like it's going to be in this one.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to the box office and come back to some news. So the box office last week, Dune was number 1 at 41 million. Pretty good opening weekend for it. I think it brought 200 million worldwide over the whole weekend, I think. If I remember, it was 200 million.
Worldwide.
Pretty good box office. They were actually happy with that. Halloween Kills, No Time
services.
Yeah, and that's pretty good. Yeah, 41 million with streaming services. No No Time to Die at number 3, Venom, and Ron's Gone Wrong at number 5. So,
and it's also a 2.5-hour movie.
Yeah, it's over 2.5 hours. It's almost 2 hours and 40. So it's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, let's get back into some news then.
1.9. They had HBO said like 1.9
Oh, okay.
million people on HBO, whatever that equates to.
That's pretty damn good. Let's talk about Netflix. I think I put it on here. They're changing their measures on how they measure of a show, basically how they measure a show's viewership and how successful it's doing. They're changing it to watch time now, more than just watch number. So the amount of time invested in a show is going to count now, rather than just how many people viewed it. Moving away from YouTube then, right? I mean, that's really what we got. I mean, YouTube is the similar way Netflix does it. It's like you click on it, you get a count. Whereas this one is going to start counting.
Well, I mean, they're still probably going to track them both, but YouTube does that too, though. I mean, YouTube will essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's like because that's how essentially TikTok came into play. Is like people just kept clicking off videos before they would end, and so people were seeing that trend.
But it's also very fluid, and I think it's kind of funny because Netflix hardly ever tells us what these numbers are anyway, so it almost doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, well, they said they're going to start sharing that information more and more too. So, yeah.
I mean, I would assume they've been doing that. I don't know why they wouldn't like track time watched or time invested in certain shows.
They're changing too. Let's see. Mythic Quest. Mythic Quest was now renewed for 2 more seasons on Apple Plus. As we mentioned, that's a pretty good starter show for that network, and I think they have a hit. There's no question. It's just a matter of I have so many questions that I would love to ask, but
the one thing I do kind of wish is that it was a bit more realistic in some ways, and I know that sounds stupid, but like when they're like, "Oh, we're launching a feature in like a week or something like that," I'm like, "There's no way that would happen." Like, absolutely not. Where like Ion's like, "Oh, I want Blood Rain or whatever it was," and it's like, okay, and they just like implement it overnight or something stupid like that. I'm just like, I don't know. That kind of takes it away from me, and I know they're trying to dumb it down to like people that don't know.
Development
how
time
games
stuff,
are made and stuff like that. But it's just like, oh my god.
I still feel like season 3 has to incorporate something from the Blizzard thing now, because the whole they have to do that.
Is it just me, or do they include clips of like other games? Like I thought I saw some WoW clips in there and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
there are actual games in their clips that they use as Mythic Quest. There's definitely clips from real games in there.
Yeah, I was just like, that was a WoW cinematic. I know Sylvanas when I see her. So it was weird to me. I was like, oh,
yeah. Okay. No, I saw that too. I was like, okay.
So let's see. What is this? What's the latest one you posted about Dune there, Tony? What's the only the beginning?
It's officially
canceled.
What?
No, I mean it got a sequel. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I read it wrong.
Little opposite.
I mentioned earlier. It's official now because the part 1, like I mentioned earlier, part 1 was it says it in the title of the film, but part 2 was never officially confirmed to happen.
Right.
It's ballsy.
It's
ballsy. Yeah.
Well, it sets expectations too, because this movie does not necessarily end where if you read the book where that book ends.
But it also doesn't rush itself. You know what I mean? Like I like that. I like that thing.
Right. No,
when you're basing this off,
like if you watch the David Lynch one, it's like they fit everything into that movie. You have to cut out a whole bunch. And like I said, the pacing was very well done considering how much you have to work with and all the politics involved in it. Yeah.
So, all right. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's see. We've got that one. We've got Mythic Quest. Brendan Fraser cast as the villain in HBO Max's live-action Batgirl movie. Firefly. Yes, I'm sorry. I was trying to remember the name, but interesting because he's Doom Patrol character. So it's interesting.
But 90% of what he does on there is voiceover. He's not really the guy in the suit more often than not. So he'll show up occasionally in certain sequences, but he's not physically there too much. So I don't see this really being a problem.
Yeah. No, I mean I don't think it either. The way the role is for the the Doom Patrol one, and this as well, from what I'm seeing, is gonna be fine, I believe. But interesting that I don't know, just weird. It's still weird we're getting a Batgirl movie. So I'm sorry, it's just weird that we're getting that. Batman's kind of on the lost dimension right now. We're getting a Batman movie, but I'm just saying that it's been like in turmoil trying to get it out, and I don't know, but hopefully it's good. I thought this was
just starting, so we'll see.
I know. I thought this was going to be something with Michael Keaton. I thought this was going to be that whole Batman Beyond style thing. I think we talked about that on this podcast before. Batgirl, to kind of take the role of Batman Beyond, but I haven't heard anything about that, so we'll see.
I don't think.
I don't see that happening. No.
Yeah. All right, and then lastly in the news, we have Star Wars. The Ahsoka series is getting a cast member, a return of a previous movie cast member. Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader. Anakin, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess. I mean,
I'm sure there's a certain
does it matter really?
There's a certain subset of people like slightly younger than me who are excited about this, but I don't.
Is the Ahsoka?
People love the prequel
Is
trilogy.
it series
now.
coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're
What's it for?
Excuse me.
contrarian.
No, is the
zoomers.
Ahsoka series taking place after Mandalorian?
I would assume so.
I am as far as I'm aware, yes. That is probably not 100% confirmed, but I was assuming it is after that.
So then, yeah,
we've got.
we'll see.
No, wait, no, the Ahsoka. Yeah, so wait, no, it's the can't wait. No, it can't be. It can't be taking place after Mandalorian. Mandalorian takes place. No, sorry. This has to be taking place as a prequel, doesn't it?
No, he
Doesn't
could
have
appear
to.
as a.
That's what I'm asking, because there's two things that could be happening.
Because
he's also
in 2 series.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Bring this
also
actor
supposed to
back
be
to be a
appearing
ghost twice.
Yeah, he's supposed to be appearing in Kenobi
That's
as well.
why it's
So that's
fucking
what I'm hearing.
stupid. I don't give a shit.
There it is.
That's why I was asking. Because is he going to be playing Vader?
It could be flashbacks as well. I mean, obviously, Vader or Anakin has a lot to do with Ahsoka's past, so
Yeah.
there could be flashbacks that would make the most sense, perhaps. Of course, he doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
The digital age, man.
Yeah,
You fake that.
Yeah.
They
got
could
Skywalker,
de-age like
man.
old
Come
people.
on.
They could de-age him. Who
Yeah.
gives a shit?
So.
We
Who
got,
gives a shit?
we got young Luke.
Listen.
Grogu.
As Mike said, there's a
Angry.
few people out there, and plus people like me who love Star Wars that don't like this character. Is it like controversial to have him in there? Because I didn't like his portrayal of Anakin.
I guess.
I didn't like Obi-Wan either. I didn't like Ewan McGregor's portrayal of Obi-Wan, so I'm not all that interested in that series either.
You didn't like.
Well,
Ewan
I guess the
McGregor?
question for me would be:
He was a
if you
bumbling
have an
Boy
Ahsoka
Scout.
series,
It's terrible.
and if you have an Ahsoka series, and you're gonna do Ahsoka, do you want to have Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker in that series?
No.
Who else
I
are you
don't.
gonna bring back for it?
I don't want anybody.
That's
back.
the only thing.
You just want the Ahsoka
but I'm
series.
saying, like that's what I'm asking. When does this take place? Like what's going on? What's
Hopefully
the
after
story here?
Mandalorian.
So,
I
that's
would
what I'm
like
hoping
something
to. We'll
less
see.
prequely, obviously, so you could build instead of revisiting. But
It's supposed to be after. I'm guessing this will be flashbacks or Force Ghosts or something like that.
Stupid.
That's
shit.
my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the ghost thing, it would really be stupid to have him come all the way back to be a ghost character in 2 series.
That's
But
what I
whatever.
said. Yeah, it's stupid. I don't give a shit.
All right. I think
I'm
that's
sorry.
it
I'm
for the news.
tired of my enjoyment of characters being tied to bring other characters back, and it's like you are a strong enough character to stand on your own. It's stupid.
I don't disagree with you on that. I mean, my Ahsoka fandom is to no bound, but I'm so happy that she's getting a series, but I don't know how I feel about this. It depends on how much of an impact it has. Really, honestly, that's really what it is at the end of the day. A small impact is what I'm guessing,
Yeah.
so it's not a big deal.
Like if they wind up doing it in a good way, and I'm not saying there's no way that they can do that. I'll be open to that. But if it's just like, oh, guys, remember Anakin before he was Darth Vader? I was gonna be like, this is fucking dumb. Like,
maybe you should watch Titans season 3 because Batman did jack shit He did not come back
why
and
would you
do
expect
anything.
Batman though? Like, why did you expect
Because
Batman?
he's
to play
there all the time.
I don't know
was-
that.
he
I'm
was
not
there.
the one watching it, but I wouldn't
I
expect
know.
that. Then be
They
I
called
were
did
in
watch
Gotham
one
the
Young
whole
Justice,
season.
by the way. I
Did you?
forgot to
I have to
mention
get back
that.
to watching that. I have to watch that. So
I might.
Season 4 is
eventually.
streaming.
yeah, I have to watch season 3. So all right, I think it's gonna wrap up the movie cast. Thanks for tuning in. Write us all
Our
you can geek
Halloween
at
edition. Ooh.
gmail.com. Oh yeah, we never did a Halloween. Oh man, whoops, dropped the ball this year. Sorry, buddy. It's been a while. Yeah, this is gonna wrap up this episode. Write us all you can geek at gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on Twitch, enjoy it. Subscribe.
Get
YouTube as
haunted
well.
by
Ron.
Anakin's Force Ghost.
Yes, yes, and that is
we
true.
are.
That is a
And
haunting
that's
thought.
and that's gonna do it. We're out. See you guys.
Zombies.
It's all